coming through to check out this webpage, where I want to talk to you about what it's like to drastically change your lifestyle. And I'm talking about how much money you make, the way that you make money, the amount of freedom and flexibility that you have on a daily basis, and yes, I mean 7 days a week, and the type of life you're just able to provide for your family. Now, you're probably wondering, well, who am I to talk about this particular topic? So let me give you some backstory. So like I said, my name is Stuart Ross. I'm 32 years old. I'm actually shooting this video right now from our offices just outside of London in the UK. We also have offices in New York and Michigan in the USA, and we literally have customers all over the world. But it really wasn't always that way. In 2007, I was working a traditional job. That's if you call 70 hours a week traditional. It was one of those things where I was, very committed. I was turning up and putting in the hours with a view of creating a successful lifestyle. But I realized that things weren't quite working out the way that I wanted them. Example, after 8 years, I was in debt. I didn't own my own home. I was living in a rented apartment. It was a nice apartment, but it was rented. I was driving a nice car. But, frankly, the money that was coming in from my pay packet, a lot of it went on that car. And the car was mainly for work. I was driving to and from work and commuting and everything else. So I felt like things weren't working out the way that I wanted them. I was desperate to own my own home, as an example. But here's the thing. The reality of the old saying, the definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result. Now, yeah, I was working my way up the ladder. I was getting promotions, but those promotions came with very small amount of money in terms of pay rises, and often came with just a lot more responsibility. So I wanted to find something else. And what I decided to do was start my own business, and I started a franchise business. This was around the May of 2007. And to cut a very long story short, it didn't work out. I lost a lot of money. I got a lot more debt. It cost me $20,000 to start that franchise, about £12,500. So I added all that debt to my name. And, after 6 months of trying to build this, it was kind of an advertising business. I realized that I wasn't cut out for that type of business. It involved cold calling, chasing people, sitting on the phone, lots of things that I honestly am either not very good at or didn't want to do. So I went back to my job with my tail between my legs. I learned a load of lessons along the way, but it just didn't work out. Now, a lot of people in those circumstances will probably just stick to the job, the safe option, I suppose. Arguably, how safe is a job these days? I don't know, but a lot of people would have stuck. But I know at the same time, a lot of people, just like me, have a burning desire. And I had a burning desire, and I always knew there was something better out there. So what I did is I carried on researching online, and eventually I came across a business model that required no major startup capital, was something that I could start immediately, something that I could work on around my job, and something that had the potential to do very, very well. In other words, make a lot of money. And that was affiliate marketing, the business model of selling other people's products and getting a commission for it. And so I studied and I learned, all of these different skill sets. And I really started doing affiliate marketing in the January of 2008. Now, within 6 months, I was in a position where I quit my job. I literally walked away from my job, making more money with my online venture than I was in my job. And I was working that venture part-time. Within 11 months, I was driving my dream car, an Aston Martin DB9. And I can't even begin to tell you how much that transformation changed my life. Just having that ability to work the hours I wanted to work, whether that be 10 o'clock in the morning or 10 o'clock at night. Just having that choice was phenomenal. Having that freedom and flexibility to be anywhere in the world, as long as I have my laptop and an internet connection, I can't tell you how good that feels. And in 2009, boy, did I take advantage of that. I literally was traveling around the world. I was in Thailand for weeks. I went to the United States for weeks. I was around Europe, just jetting off and just enjoying myself. And what I found, though, is that I wasn't really ready for that lifestyle. I needed to achieve a little bit more. I was kind of living like the retired lifestyle, or at least the semi-retired lifestyle, working a couple of hours a day. So I decided in 2010 that I was going to do something to make a difference, and that thing was to teach other people how to get their start online. Now, this is where the story may go in a direction that you're not expecting it to. After several months of doing workshops and teaching people how to do what I did, 95% of people never got the results that I got. In fact, 95% of the people got virtually no results at all. Now, I'm not going to say it's because they were lazy or they were stupid, because it absolutely wasn't. There were a lot of variables that I found out, and the few success stories that I did have, they were people that often had similar backgrounds to me. And what I mean by that is that they didn't have kids to worry about, they didn't have big commitments, they were able to be very selfish with their time, and they were able to put in a lot of hours, energy, effort, and they were also people that were prepared to sort of learn some of the technical things. So what I decided was that I wasn't going to continue to just teach my system if it wasn't going to work for 95% of people, and I needed to go back to the drawing board, and that is what I did. And I had this vision and this goal to create a marketing system or a business system that anybody would be able to duplicate, I suppose a bit like a franchise. And what I did is I got to work, and at the end of 2010, I launched my very first business system. Now, in the course of 2011, I started to see more and more success stories, more and more results, but we kind of had a few